I'm telling you, whatever you've been blessed with in this life, like whatever you've been blessed with given the chance to do in this life, do it with 100%. Do it with everything that you got. Even if it's not your ultimate goal or dream, even if you don't believe it's your life's purpose, whatever it is, whatever job it is, whatever gym it is that you have. You might not be your dream gym. It might not be your dream job. You might not be with like I don't know. You might not be around, the kind of people that you consider your dream people. But whatever is in your life, give it 100%. Trust is the greatest thing. Just trust me when I say that this is how I used to look. I used to think to myself, oh, I'm not working my dream job, so I'm going to give it 50% maybe. I'm not at my dream gym, so I'll wait until eventually I have enough to get to my dream gym, and then I'll start giving it 100 then. I don't have my the food or the store, the store does not have exactly all the food that I want. So I'll buy the food that I want and just I don't know, I'll just buy a bunch of junk food. I don't really care. I'm not going to try this other healthy food, whatever. And I used to think this way, and I used to give my work 50%, if that. I used to give my workouts 50%, if that. I used to just, whenever I wasn't in my dream position per se. Whatever, I never had my dream car, so I did not take care of it the way I should have. I'm not in my dream state, my dream area to live in, so I used to just think to myself, I'll be happy when I finally live there. And if there's anything I've learned over all these years, is that if you live life this way, that I'm not going to make the most of my life until I have everything that I ever wanted and I'm living my dream, then you are going to be miserable, you're going to be depressed, bro. You're going to hate your life more than ever. And you're never going to actually enjoy it. And eventually, when you do get to that dream state, who's to say that you're actually going to enjoy it? Because you want to know why? Because you built up such a bad mindset, a bad habit of having such a bad mindset of, whatever, I don't really enjoy life, I don't really care, I'm not going to give this my all because it's not my dream, that if anything in your life does not go perfect, then all of a sudden your day is ruined. Your life is ruined. That's exactly how I used to think, that if one thing went wrong, then my whole day is ruined. If I wasn't at my dream job, then my life sucks. Whatever it may be. Because everything wasn't perfect. Because I never had everything that I ever wanted, and I'm not in my dream place. And it's that stubborn attitude that was a big part of my downfall, of my mental health, of my mentality, of my love of life and my quality of life. That's the type of stuff that made it my downfall. And you know what I've realized is that you may never be in your exact dream position, and even if you are, things are still going to go wrong. There's still going to be some things that go wrong. There's still going to be some things in your life that don't go perfect, because life is not perfect, and it never will be, and neither will you. That's just the bottom line. That's just the fact of the world that you got to accept. And if you choose not to accept that and keep this stubborn attitude of, my life will be good once everything is perfect, then your life will never be good, no matter how good it actually is. Because of that stubborn attitude, that stupid attitude that held me back for years, that made me miserable for years, that destroyed my quality of life and my mental health and my relationships for years, all because everything wasn't perfect. Well, you know what I've had to do since then? I've had to just tell my brain to shut up. I've had to let go of that stubborn attitude that made me miserable. And I had to just learn to enjoy what's right in front of me. It doesn't mean I'll enjoy it 100%. It doesn't mean every day is just going to be peachy and rosy. No, even when I've learned to enjoy things, I still had bad days. I still had rough times. I've still had, because that's just life. That is just life. If you think that, a change of scenery or a change of mindset or a change of career, whatever, is just going to make your life perfect. Now, of course, there are some times where it's going to make your life better, like a career is going so bad that you need to change it. Your gym is just completely falling apart. You need to get out and get to a new gym, whatever. That's fine. I'm not saying don't improve, but what I am saying is never expect perfection. Expect improvement, better yourself, better your quality of life, better what needs to be better, but never expect perfection. And do not expect that everything must be perfect, otherwise my life sucks. Because if that's the case, again, you're always going to hate your life. I've had to learn to adapt to what I didn't really enjoy. Didn't really enjoy my job. Well, I had to change my mindset and start actually looking at the goods and the positives and just start making the most of it. Even on the boring days, you can still make it fun. Even on the days where people are miserable and angry, you could still be the one to come in with a good attitude and whatever and still make the most of it. You have that chance. You have that option to either let your day and your life destroy you or to just make the most of what you got and what you don't got. Doesn't mean it's going to be perfect, but what it does mean is that it's going to be a lot better than if you were to just let everything destroy you. I had to learn to change my mindset on the place that I live. It's not my dream place, not my dream state by any means, but you know what? And you know what? I'm not a big fan. Like, I've learned to like winters over the year more, but it's still not my favorite season or anything like that. I can't stand the polar vortex, like blast and stuff like that. You know, where it gets to like negative 25. If you ever heard of that, it's a thing in Canada and like the United States. A polar vortex blast, boom, negative 25 degree weather. Everything just deep freezes. Your car goes like, it's freaking such an annoying experience. But you know what I've had to learn to do? Because I used to hate winter so much, but where I'm at, winter practically lasts 6 months out of the year because it starts getting really cold in November and doesn't start actually warming up until, like, it starts warming up a little bit in March, kind of in April, but there's still a lot of cold days. So yeah, I consider winter to be 6 months of the year. And I used to just be depressed and hate my life for 6 months of the year because I used to hate winter. But you know what I did? I had to open up my mind. I had to let go of my stupid, stubborn attitude and just start learning to look at the goods of it. And sure, summer's still my favorite season. Yeah, be honest with yourself, absolutely. But I've had to learn to enjoy winter, and I've actually learned to enjoy it. Because in the wintertime, you'll see me training outside in the snow. You'll see me taking my shirt off when it's 20 degrees and stuff and just embracing the cold. And ironically, embracing the cold's actually done really good for my mental health. Like, even in wintertime, like, I look forward to doing that cold training now. And even when it snows and stuff like that. Don't look forward to driving in it, but that's a whole different thing. But I've learned to just embrace the snow, embrace the cold as best as I can, find the beauty in it as best as I can. And while summer's still my favorite season, winter, I've actually learned to like and enjoy a lot more, which has helped me to learn to like and enjoy the place where I live a lot more. Yeah, sure, the gym I go to isn't perfect, but you know what? I make the most of it. The job I have is not my dream job, but you know what? I make the darn most of it. Winter, not my favorite season, but you know what? I make the darn most of it. It's not perfect. And you know what's funny is that even on the perfect days, perfect 75-degree weather, day where I go to work and everything goes right, time where I go to the gym and there's not that many people there, so I get all the machines I need. Even on those days, there's still imperfections. Okay, I screw up a rep or I screw up a set. I do something stupid, whatever. Sure, you know, I make a bad decision at work that's like, oh, shoot, I could have made a better decision there. You know, on the 75-degree day, it rains a little bit throughout the day. But it's never going to be perfect in life. That's just the bottom line. And if you're waiting for perfection for yourself to actually be happy, then you may be waiting a darn long time. And I'm going to tell you something, is that tomorrow is not and never will be guaranteed to anyone. And so if you want to spend what could potentially be the last days of your life not happy because you're waiting for perfection, which potentially might never come if today's your last day, then is that really how you want to spend your last day? Is that really how you want to spend your last of days in this life on earth? Is waiting for perfection when you might not even have the time to wait? And even so, perfection is not an achievable thing. Yeah, I'll be happy when I have my dream job, when I have this much money, when I have my dream gym, when I'm living in my dream area, when there's a change of scenery. I'll be happy when all that stuff happens. You might be waiting till the very end of your life, and by then it's already too late. So, yeah, improve. Go after that dream. Go after that goal. Go after that dream career. Go find that dream gym if you can. But even if you can't, or even if it takes years to achieve, still enjoy life to the best of your ability and give everything that you have now 110% and make the absolute most of everything that you have now. Because tomorrow's not guaranteed. Perfection is never guaranteed. But even like getting to your dream state in life may not be guaranteed, because by then, it could be years from now, which by then it may already be too late to actually start enjoying life, because all those years you spent building up a habit of not enjoying life. And even when you get those dream things, you're still just going to find other things to pick on in life. So again, tomorrow is not and never will be guaranteed. Perfection is never guaranteed. Even the dreams that you really want to achieve in life, there is a possibility it may not happen. If I'm just being real, of course, hey, if you keep going after it day after day and for years, hey, there's a big possibility it may happen. You might as well just give it a try and find out. Give it a try and keep working for years and never quit. Because if you're passionate about it and you love it and it's your dream, like, by all means, hey, embrace that love and passion. But what I am saying is that even if the dream or goal is never achieved, even if perfection can never be achieved, even if tomorrow's not guaranteed, just still enjoy life to the best of your ability. Give everything you got now 110% and just make the most of everything in this life that you have now, even if it's not your dream, even if it's not your perfect utopian life, even if it's not everything that you ever wanted. Just be grateful for what you got. Because in reality, we all have a lot more than we deserve. I know I sure do. And I don't even have that much. But I have a lot more than I deserve to have. I don't have my dream car. I don't have my dream job. I don't live in my dream area. But you know what? I am darn grateful for what I do have. I'm darn grateful for where I do live. And I thank the Lord above that he has been, kind enough to bless me with all these things. So you know what? Instead of just giving it barely anything, instead of just being barely grateful and just living a miserable life until I finally get everything that I want, if that even happens, instead of just being miserable and hating my life and all things about it because it's not perfect and I don't have everything I want, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to make the darn most of what I do have, and I'm going to make the best of what I do have, and I'm going to make the most of this day and this life, because for all we know, today could be our last day. And you know what? If I'm ever going to go out, I want to go out saying that I've made the most of this life, And even if I were to find out that I would live for years to come, I still want to make the most of today, because when those years do happen and I look back, I want to look back saying, you know what, I'm glad I made the most of those days. I'm really glad that I am where I am now, but I'm really, really glad that I made the most of the journey rather than just hating the journey and becoming a miserable person. That's just it. So you know what? Whether tomorrow is guaranteed or not, I want to make the most of this life. I want to make the most of everything I got. Whether I have my dream car, my dream job, my dream, place that I'm living in, the amount of money that I'm looking to save, whatever. Whether I have that all or not, I'm going to make the most of this life. Because just the fact of even being able to breathe, that's enough of a blessing as it is. And for my heart to be pumping, blood to be flowing, that's enough of a blessing as it is. In reality, I have a lot more than I deserve. And you know what? I'm grateful. I'm grateful that God's even kept me alive. I am. And so I'm going to give thanks to him and show him that I'm grateful by making the most of it all. And even on the bad days and the down days and the days where I make mistakes and do stupid things and fail and whatever it may be, whatever. I'll learn from my mistakes, repent of my sins, learn from the failures, whatever. I'm still going to make the most of all of it. Because if I don't, I'm going to be miserable and I'm going to live a miserable life. And I'm going to build that habit of misery to where even if I did get everything I ever wanted, I'm still going to be miserable because I built such a bad habit of being miserable. There's so much to be grateful for. There's so much to be thankful for. A lot of us have the lives that other people around the world wish that they had. I mean, I've heard stories of kids in other countries who don't even have a home. And there's this church that I go to, and I know someone that goes there, and her and a whole group from that church are going to be traveling to this different country to give to other people. And you know what the church director told them? The church director told them, when you go there, do not cry. When you see how these people live, do not cry. Because they're used to it. And if they see you crying, they're going to think that their lives are really sad or something like that. That hit me so hard. In fact, I want to do a whole separate talk on this because that hit me so hard, dude. And that just made me realize that I don't have that much, but I have a lot more than a lot of people. And I have and I do not have my dream life, but I have the dream life that other people wish they had. And so I'm very, very grateful. And I pray nothing but the best for those people that are struggling, even though that's just their normal life. Bottom line, there's always stuff to be grateful for. There's always a reason to make the most of this life. There's always a reason to be happy. And it doesn't mean perfect and sunshine, rainbows, you're always happy, whatever. It doesn't mean all that, but there's always a reason to make the most of this life, and there's always a reason to be grateful for what you got. So don't forget to thank the one above for what you got, because he never had to give it to you. He never had to allow you to have it. That's just it. That's just it. And if there's one, there's a lot of things I'm gonna remember for the rest of my life. But if there's one big thing I can really remember, it's gonna be this. Whoa, because it's just that darn important. It's so important how far gratitude can go. And if you're not grateful, then it's it can literally break and destroy your life. Because there are people that have everything and yet still are not satisfied with what they do have and still want more. And then there's people that have nothing, and yet that's their normal way of living, and they're still thanking God. So you know what? It goes to show you don't need everything. You don't need all that stuff. Yes, improve, get better, get stronger every single day. Go after goals and dreams. Don't give up. Absolutely. If you feel something, if you feel passion deep down inside to go after something or to do something, go after it and do not look back. But at the same time, don't let the fact that you don't have the end result of the journey or whatever end result you're looking for, don't let that destroy your life. Because it will if you let it. Forget the end result. Just enjoy the journey. Forget the end goal and the end dream. Just enjoy the journey and the process that'll get you there. And one day you'll look back and just say, like, even if you never got it, you'll still look back and be grateful that you enjoyed the journey, even if you never achieved the end goal. But if you don't enjoy the journey, you're going to think it was just a waste of time, even though the only thing that made it a waste of time was not the journey itself, because you didn't get the end result. It wasn't the journey itself. It was the bad attitude that you had during the journey. That's just it, man. That's just it. This is powerful. This hit me hard. And I do want to do a whole entire, like, separate thing on that whole, like church thing I heard, because dang, that hit me really hard. So you know what? Yeah, let's grow. Let's thrive. Let's get better. But let's be grateful for everything that we have and never expect perfection and make the most of every day and every moment in this life, whether it's a good day or a bad day, whether we get everything we want or not. Because at the end of the day, it's about what we do with this life, not about what we get out of it. That being said, going to the next Bible reading, leaving off from yesterday. Luke 9:51. As the time approached for him to be taken up to heaven, Jesus resolutely set out for Jerusalem, and he sent messengers on ahead, who went into a Samaritan village to get things ready for him. But the people there did not welcome him because he was heading for Jerusalem. When the disciples James and John saw this, they asked, "Lord, do you want us to call fire down from heaven to destroy them?" But Jesus turned and rebuked them. Then he and his disciples went to another village. As they were walking along the road, a man said to him, "I will follow you wherever you go." Jesus replied, "Foxes have dens and birds have nests, but the Son of Man has no place to lay his head." He said to another man, "Follow me." But he replied, "Lord, first let me go and bury my father." Jesus said to him, "Let the dead bury their own dead, but you go and proclaim the kingdom of God." Still another said, "I will follow you, Lord, but first let me go back and say goodbye to my family." Jesus replied, "No one who puts a hand to the plow and looks back is fit for service in the kingdom of God." All right, and Luke 10 is where we will leave off for next time. And you know what? I changed my mind. I do want to talk about that church thing to kind of finish today off, because you know that's powerful. Yeah. There's this girl that I know, and she goes to a church. I go to that church sometimes. I go to another church sometimes. There's a few churches actually that I like. But she goes to this one church, and you might have heard of it, Parkview. And they are going on a mission to another country. I don't know exactly what country, and I don't want to say the wrong one. But they're going to another country. They're going there to, like, deliver goods and to serve, and to kind of like meet people and just kind of like build a community and serve them and give to them as well. And this director had told her in the group that's going, he said to them, "Hey, when we get there, and you see how these people live, like you see how all the citizens live, do not cry, do not shed a tear, do not feel bad for them, not to be mean, but because if you do, it'll probably make them feel bad about the way that they live and about their lifestyle, because from their point of view, it's completely normal how they live. How they live is completely normal. It's not like poor or down or anything like that. It's just normal to them." And so, I mean, like, feeling bad for them, like, yeah, you're going to feel bad for them inside, but, like, don't, like, express it to them, I guess is what he was saying. Like, don't express it to them. Don't, don't go up to them and be like, "Oh, I'm so sorry for this," or don't cry or shed tears because of how they live. Like, just focus on being friends with them and being kind, welcoming, giving to them. And, like, just remember that the way that they live, from their point of view, it's completely 100% normal. So even when you do feel bad and you feel like shedding a tear, it's like don't show it to them. That's the bottom line. Don't show it to them. Don't express that you feel bad for them, because again, it's just normal to them. And if you start expressing that you feel bad to them and you start crying with them and stuff, they're gonna think that, like, it's just going to make them miserable. They're just going to think that, wow, we thought we were living normal all this time, but our lives are actually just like they're just whatever. It's just down in the dumps, whatever. But like hearing that don't cry and don't shed tears and stuff like that, that's hard, man. That was hard hitting. Like just the fact that had to even be said goes to show how like blessed I am, and like, you know, some other peoples of like other countries too that are like really advanced and stuff like that. Like, it just goes to show how blessed we are. And of course those people are blessed too, you know, like they're breathing, their heart's pumping, like hey, they're blessed, and nothing but love for them. But what I'm just saying is that we think we don't have a lot because we compare ourselves to other people that do have a lot. But in reality, we have a lot more than a lot of people, and we are blessed with a lot more than I would even go to say that we even deserve. And the fact that someone had to tell this group of people that's going to this other country to not cry when they see them and how they live, that's hard, man. Like or like hard hitting, I should say. Like, that's hard hitting. It just goes to show that there are some people, man, that have like nothing. And if they saw us, you know, like we're living their dream lives. They're not even thinking about the goals and dreams that we have. It's not even on their radar. They're just thinking about, like, they look at some of our lives, even if you were just to have like a whatever, just a not so, like a really small house, or like a, I don't know, like a non-luxury car. Like, some people would look at that and be like, what the heck, man? Like, that's beautiful. Like, I want that life. I want that life where I could just work this normal job and have this normal house and car. Like, some people look at people like that, but then some other people, some of us, we look at people and think, oh, normal job, normal car, normal house, like, oh, that's nothing. You know, they've accomplished nothing in life and they have no goals and dreams. Stop. No, just stop. And I used to think this way sometimes too, just like thinking to myself, I don't want a normal job or a normal car, I want this big stuff, I want all this stuff, I want, you know, the greatest job in the world, whatever. It's like, okay, again, nothing wrong with improving, getting better, nothing wrong with going after goals and dreams. There's nothing wrong with that. But if I'm gonna sit here and not be grateful for having a normal job or normal car, normal house, whatever, when a lot of people don't have that, and a lot of people would look at me and be like, oh, I want his life, and I'm not gonna even be grateful for it? Are you kidding me, Justin? Really? Then in that case, you don't deserve to have any of that then, you know? So yes, I'm going to continue to improve and go after more and bigger and better, but I'm going to darn well be grateful for what I have now and make the most of what I have now. Because by no means did I deserve any of this, you know, by no means. And some people will look at me or at you or at other people around that just have like a normal job, normal house, normal car, normal family, and just be like, that's my dream life, like that's all I want. And then the goals and dreams that we tell those people, they'll be like, oh, I don't care about that. You know, it's not even on their radar. They just want a good paying job. They just want, you know, a job that can support them, and even a small little house or a small little car. They're just like, that's just what I want, man. So the bottom line behind all this is that, yeah, you know, your life really isn't as bad as you think, just because you didn't accomplish all your goals and dreams that you ever wanted to, and just because you're not living in your dream area with your dream job, whatever, doesn't mean your life's bad at all. And if you're going to treat your life that way, I would be very, very careful, you know. I'd be very, very careful. But what I do know is that, of course, I have bigger and better things I want to go after in life. Of course, I have other goals and dreams. Of course, I do. But you know what? I'm grateful to have this. I'm grateful to have what I have now and be where I am now, even if it's not my exact dream or whatever. I'm grateful for it, and I'm going to make the darn most of this, and I'm going to thank God and praise God every day. Because it's not like I ever really deserved any of this, you know? And I hope and pray that, you know, those people who look at some of our lives and think to themselves, like, that's my dream life, I pray that they get there, you know? I hope so. But that's just it, man. That's just it. Don't forget to thank your lucky star. Don't forget to thank the one above. Don't forget to be grateful for what you got and make the most of what you got, even if it's not exactly your perfection or utopia or dream life, whatever. Make the most of what you got. Be grateful for what you got, because a lot of people don't have that and may never have that. And we're blessed to even be taking breaths and have a heart pumping every day. Because I'm telling you, God could stop that at any moment if he wanted to. So let's not forget to go forth being grateful and just making the most of what we got. Because at the end of the day, that's what makes your life. You can go on the journey to accomplishing all your goals and dreams, and you can, but if you hated the journey and you did not make the most of the journey or your life, then what is the end result anyway? But if you go on that, if you go try to accomplish your goals and dreams, but even after years you don't accomplish them, but yet you made the most of the journey and you enjoyed the journey, then the end result doesn't even matter, because you'll look back and just say, wow, at least I had a great journey, at least I had a great time. End result, dream life, whatever. That's never really it. It's never really the answer. The answer is just being more grateful and making the most of what you do got, even if it's not that much or not as much as you hope for, whatever. And once I learned this, it's nothing that's taken down my mental health or my quality of life or gratitude or love, etc. It's up to us, man. It's up to us to decide if we make the most of our lives or not and what we do. It's up to us. Don't forget, you're blessed. So, that being said, yeah, that just about does it for today. Let's go become the great men we were born to be. And I'll be seeing you tomorrow. So yeah, I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.